Hi, I'm Beth. Thanks for watching Read Remark. Today we're going to talk about the new book, This Is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel. It's a really interesting one. This book touches on some really touchy subjects. It centers around a large family, really large. Rosie and Penn are the mom and dad, and they have 4 boys already, a house full of boys. And so it's no surprise that they have a 5th boy named Claude. The surprise happens when Claude turns out to want to be a girl. So it goes through the different changes that the family, that the parents, that Claude experiences in Claude's transition to being Poppy. As parents, we have a tendency to play this morbid mind game with ourselves called What Would You Do? What would you do if your kid was gay? What would you do if you ran out of money and became homeless? What would you do if your son decided that he wanted to be a girl? What would you do if one of your children had a profound learning disability? What would you do if one of your children had a profound physical disability? There are all sorts of different things that you have to take into consideration, and sometimes they seem like extreme scenarios, but they happen. Things happen. Sometimes kids are born with sicknesses. Sometimes kids are born not being what we thought they would be. And I'm not equating any of those things with each other. So it's not that being gay or trans is the same as having a disease. It's just that things happen to your kids. There are all sorts of scenarios that you think through in your head with those what would you do games. But you really don't know what you would do until you're faced with a situation. You can think it through. You can think that the power of your incredible parenting can prevent any of that stuff from happening in the first place. It can't. It can't. You can't control everything in the world. Your kids are going to be what they're going to be, and sometimes they can't even control it. So we've gotten to an age now that we're pretty well indoctrinated with a lot of different diverse issues that people face. But I think the trans one is still kind of at the beginning of its acceptance phase. It's still very taboo, very fraught with emotions and drama. And even in the best of families, such as is the case in this book, This Is How It Always Is, they're the best family that Claude Poppy could have been born into. They're accepting, they're open, they're loving. They love this kid no matter what gender he or she is. Even in the best of circumstances, it's incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. I mean, think about the weight that that puts on a kid's shoulders. And it's not even a decision that the kid or the parents make, it's just accepting the identity that the kid is. So I'll say I've been through all those scenarios in my head of what would I do if my kid turned out to be X, Y, or Z, and honestly, it's thrown me for a loop every time I've faced a new challenge. I can think through, how I would rise to the occasion, but you just don't know. And so it's really easy on the outside looking in to judge people, and that's what happens in this book a lot, is that people think that they know best of how Rosie and Penn should handle this situation. They know that either they should keep it a secret, or they should shout it from the mountaintops, or they should hold off and make Claude remain a boy for a while until he reaches adult age and is old enough to make that kind of decision. Or they should go ahead and give him gender reassignment surgery now as a child so that the body doesn't go through all of the hormonal changes that are a lot harder to undo on the back end. They get conflicting advice from everyone. Every decision they make is both right and wrong at the same time, just as is every parenting decision that every parent makes throughout history. We go into it with the best of intentions. We don't always come out with the best outcome. In this situation, though, it's all just, everything comes from love. And that's the part that really touched me the most about this book, is just the intense love that they have for their children. And you can see the individual identities of all of their children that they respect and encourage and love. They have the kid who's very matter-of-fact, straightforward, and extremely intelligent. No fluff, no real sense of humor, and that's cool. They have another kid who, they have the twins who are kind of rough and tumble and quirky, and they knit, or just all sorts of different quirky things about them, and that's okay. They have one kid who stands up for his brothers with his fists. He's very aggressive in getting across his point and protecting the people whom he loves. And that's okay, except for the physical violence part, because of course, what parent is going to condone that? And then of course they have Claude, who becomes Poppy, who is so smart, sweet, gifted, intelligent in so many ways, and just happens to be a girl living in a boy's body. And that's okay. And then even the parents themselves don't really fulfill traditional gender roles. Rosie, the mom, is a doctor, and she works and provides for the family, while Penn, her husband, is a novelist who also doubles really as the stay-at-home dad. He's the glue that holds everything together. Both of them are incredibly warm, loving, invested in their kids' lives, and still it's such a hard road to follow. It just makes me so thankful for parents like that out there who just look out for their kids' best interest. It makes me thankful for the village around them who accepts these parents and the tough decisions that they're facing, while also trying to protect the kid and let the kid just be a kid. It's a kid. So if you can't tell, I really, really enjoyed the book. It was so beautiful, gave me all the feels, got me right in the heart. I highly recommend it. I expect to see it on some best of lists at the end of the year. So This Is How It Always Is by Laurie Frankel. 2 snaps up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you think. Just all from love. Thanks, guys. See you next time.